What's up, fellas? It's your boy Schemer back with another episode for the Dynasty. Here to talk about what's going to happen without, predictably in this year's weekend draft for the DML for Madden22. Yes, it's at 4:15 for the DML. Don't miss it. But I couldn't do the show alone. I got my boy Xpert on the show. What's going on, Xpert?
Yo, what's good, Schemer, man? Glad to finally be on the show. We get this mock draft going.
Oh, yeah. All right, we also got Bino on the show. What's going on, Bino?
What's going on, man? We finally made it, y'all. We at the new Madden on the new console. It's gonna be different this time around, but it's gonna be dope.
That's right. Ain't gonna take long. Let's go ahead and hop in. All right, the first pick of the draft, we got the boy, the bus, the winner of 4 Super Bowl championships. It's obvious who he likes. He's a homer. At pick number 1, we're not gonna take long. I got him taking the Bears, led by Justin Fields, the new rookie quarterback. What's your take on it, Xpert?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Because Justin Fields is there, he's got a quarterback that he can rely on for the whole cycle. He can build him. They already have a good defense. This is probably one of the easiest picks. 1 and 2 are the easiest 2 picks of the draft. I think they're going to go exactly like we planned. Bus definitely going back to Chicago, especially after the success he had in Washington. Now he can go back to Chicago and kind of maybe ride off into the sunset and see what he can do with those Bears.
All right, Bino, what's your take?
Yeah, I had to agree, man. I think we all know the bus is taking Chicago, and honestly, this is one of the most powerful moves, right? Because if he decided to choose the AFC team, I think the entire mock drafts, plural, that have been released changed drastically, right? But I have to agree. I definitely think he's taking the Bears with the first pick.
All right, moving on. Another obvious pick. It's your boy Tight Work. He lives in California, but you know what? On Madden, he lives in Miami. Did you agree with that, Bino? You played this guy many times.
Yes, I have played him many times, and I had the unfortunate opportunity to play him with the Dolphins in the new Madden, and I'm telling you, he's going to be good with that speed in Miami. So I think he has no choice. He's a homer as well. He's definitely going to pick Miami. Like X said, 1 and 2 is locked up, man.
All right, Xpert, he has Waddle. You know a thing or two about speed. What's your take on this pick?
Yeah, I mean, this is an easy pick for Tight Work. If you go back and watch some of our draft shows, Tight Work doesn't pick the Dolphins pick Tight Work, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. He's going back to Miami. He's got speed at wide receiver. He's got a young quarterback. Easy pick. 1 and 2, easiest 2. We might as well not even have those guys on the show. Let's just start with pick 3.
Right. This is where the draft starts at. Historically, I'm not too sure about that. It's your boy Styles. I got him going Pittsburgh. Historically, no matter where he drafts at, he always finds himself back to the Steel City. Would you agree, Xpert?
Here's the thing. At no point did I think, okay, Styles going to go to his team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. There isn't anything that tells me that. When I got the mock draft from Schemer, I was like, yeah, I don't think Steelers go that high. Here's the thing about Styles, though. He plays it down like he's not that good and all this stuff. But Styles is a competitor. He's definitely one of the top guys here in the league. And it doesn't matter where he goes, he's going to be successful. And so I actually have him going. I have him in the AFC, but I actually have him going with the Kansas City Chiefs at pick 3. I don't think he can pass up Mahomes, Tyreek Hill. That offense matched up. And then you got Tyrann Mathieu on the defense. I mean, it's hard. It would be hard to pass up the Chiefs, and that's where I got Styles going at 3.
All right. How about you, Bino?
I think Styles, in his show, he was talking about smoke screen. I have to agree with X. I don't think the Steelers go that high that soon, bro. But I know Styles is a homer, and like X said, Styles is gonna be good with any team. But I think what you have is accurate based on the smoke that he's showing. Right? He's saying he's gonna pick the Steelers. I don't know if it's gonna go down like that, but from all the inclinations I got, I think you have a pretty accurate pick in the Steelers with Styles.
I have to agree, but like you say, you pick that high, you can go many ways. He has unfinished business in San Diego, so I wouldn't be surprised he picked the Chargers. But I'm sticking with the guts. I'm saying Steelers. At pick 4, we got your boy Gav. Gav, defensive minded. I got him taking Baltimore. Would you agree, Bino?
I would have to disagree here. I think he likes Baltimore, and they do have some appealing assets on the team. But I honestly have him in the AFC East somewhere, preferably probably the Bills. just because that team I think suits him a little bit more, and I think he's more focused on an easy schedule versus a nice team, from what I'm getting from Gav. So I would have to disagree here. I think he might go with the Bills, but the Ravens are always a good choice. I think they definitely fall within the top 10.
All right, Xpert. You know a thing or two about cornerbacks. You got Humphreys. Peters is not that bad. He's just getting old, up in age. It's good to pick a franchise with a top-notch corner. You've done it several times. What you think about Baltimore Ravens going at pick 4?
Yeah, I definitely can see Gav going to Baltimore. You got Lamar Jackson. You got a stingy defense. Anytime you get a chance to play with Lamar Jackson is definitely a bonus. I think this team goes high. I could see Gav going here to Baltimore, but part of me thinks this is where Gav kind of shakes it up, and he goes with the Cleveland Browns and that roster they got in Cleveland. I know we got Cleveland going a little bit later in the draft, but I think Gav is the one that kind of shakes this draft up. I could see him in Buffalo. There's just so many good teams. Gav is in a great spot here to set himself up for a good cycle. I'm not gonna rule out that he would take Baltimore. It would be a good pick for him. Again, Gav's one of those guys. No matter where he goes, he's going to be successful. He's going to make the playoffs 99% of the time. So,
all right, good analogy. Okay, pick 5 is a no-brainer, according to Bino anyway. All right, Bino, the Eagles have a lot of young talent. I like Devontae Smith, who they drafted out of Alabama. Real nice and young. And then they do have Slay to start out, at least until you find some more DBs in the secondary. Are you going to go ahead and pick with your heart, Bino?
I ain't gonna. The cat's been out of the bag for me, man. And honestly, yeah, this is a homer pick. But if anybody watches my play style and how I draft, I like to win from the trenches. And when I'm grabbing these Eagles, that's exactly what's going to happen. The first snap. You know what I mean? So there ain't no secret. I'm grabbing the Eagles. I got some special up my sleeve for the live draft show. So I'm definitely going with them birds, man.
All right. You going to fall for that, Xpert?
I mean, there's nothing to fall for here at this point. Just go ahead and pencil Bino in for the Eagles. It will be a short phone call when he calls into me for the live draft here this Saturday. we know where Bino is going. He's going to take his hometown Philadelphia Eagles. He put the work in Madden 21 to secure this spot so he could get his Eagles. I don't think he passes that up. It's a good pick for Bino. I will say this, man. It's tough when you got your home team because then it's tough to make some of those difficult decisions. Do you let this guy go? Do you hang on to him? You love him because he's your man in your real team. And so we'll see how Bino does. But, yeah, he's definitely going Philadelphia here.
All right, good take. Now, at pick 6, which is probably the first mysterious pick, it might be the most mysterious pick of the draft. We got your boy Jacob, who's a Seahawks fan. But I don't think the Seahawks is good enough for pick 6. I got him going Kansas City. All right, Bino, you know a thing or two about speed at receiver. What you think about this pick?
Yeah, speaking of speed, yeah, I think that's a good pick for him, but I just don't think he's going to go there. I honestly think, based on the play style that I've seen him come with, I think he's picking the Washington football team because you still get the speed at receiver. It's just that you get a stout defense as well. But the problem is you might have to see Bino twice a season. So, but I honestly think, he might go to Washington football team. But what you have is a good team. I think they fall within the top 10 as well.
All right. Now, Xpert, we're talking about a guy who just won a high state Super Bowl. And he plays fast. He's not trying to slow down. I'm telling you that now. But Bino has a point about speed at wide receiver with a great defense. What's your analogy on this guy?
Yeah, I really think he's going home. He's going to take the Seattle Seahawks. You want speed at receiver? The Seattle Seahawks got several of those guys that can flat out run. And, it's still got a good defense, still got a good quarterback. You have to make an adjustment at quarterback soon as Russell Wilson's kind of getting up there in age. But, I mean, what a better chance for him to go home, take his Seattle Seahawks. They got a good defense. They got speed at wide receiver. It's going to be interesting to see because, again, you win the high-stakes Super Bowl, you're going to pick guaranteed in the top 8. He had some violations, some time away from the game that kind of put him back here at 6. But super excited to see where he goes, man. He's done great here in the dynasty. He's starting to really fit in with the group. And so we'll see how he does in Madden 22. But I got him going with Seattle.
Not bad at all, especially with the recent news. Okay, at pick 7, it's another no-brainer. You got your boy Andy Force. You know, he's a homer. He's gonna pick a West Coast team, and I think if San Fran falls down the board, he's gonna definitely pick them. It's gonna be like another no-brainer, just like when Bino picked the Eagles. You think so, Xpert?
Yeah, I think if the 49ers are here, this is where Andy Force goes. But I also think Andy Force could put every team available in a hat and just reach in there and grab one, and he's going to be successful with them. They eventually will fit to what he does and what he likes to do in Madden. So, but definitely if you have the 49ers here, a young quarterback that's going to be there the whole cycle, definitely have some speed, really good tight end. I think Andy Force is enough of a homer. He takes his 49ers here.
I gotta agree. If I was in Vegas, I would make a bet on this pick here. How about you, Bino?
Yeah, I had to agree with y'all both, man. I mean, the assets that they have are very appealing, man. I mean, you don't know what you have in the young quarterback yet, but all the weapons around them are definitely appealing to Force's play style. And like you said, he's a homer. I think one of them West Coast teams is definitely coming off the board at 7. So I agree with this pick.
I agree. I mean, why pass up on the 49ers when you got Trey Lance? He knows how to build receivers. So, you got Kittles and Bosa on the D-line. I mean, this is just like, a walk in the park. All right, pick 8. We got your boy, King Vitamin. I got him taking Dallas Cowboys, but this is another mysterious pick because sometimes you just don't play with your heart. All right, Xpert, you're a Cowboy fan. Should Vitamin take the Cowboys right here?
If he does not take the Cowboys, then pick 10 is guaranteed going to the Dallas Cowboys. This is the opportunity. King Vitamin played his tail off, built that Seahawks team up. He did a great job. He put himself in position to finally get his Cowboys away from Xpert. Do not screw the bag up right here, King Vitamin. Take the Dallas Cowboys. Enjoy playing with that fast linebacker, Micah Parsons. You got Dak Prescott. You got Zeke, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. You got Keanu Neal, DeMarcus Lawrence. You got all of these players and a chance to have one of the best teams in Madden. If Vitamin makes a mistake and thinks, because they're my team, I don't want to make a bad decision, and he takes someone else, I'm going to scoop these Cowboys up, and I'm going to wreck Bino's entire cycle.
Hey, Bino, I got this team labeled as the best team in Madden, and I'll tell you why. I don't even have to be a Cowboy fan, but when you got Micah Parsons on the board with 93 speed, you got Joseph out of Kentucky, 94 speed, and this guy knows how to build teams up. This team gets better every single year, never misses a beat. Should he take the Cowboys now, or should he go elsewhere?
I'll tell you what, he'd be crazy if he don't take the Cowboys, for real, because the one thing neither one of y'all mentioned was that offensive line. That's still pretty stout.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? The only thing he would have to really work on would be a little bit of pieces on the defensive line, especially if you got Micah Parsons and Jalen Smith, both young, still flying across the field. So Cowboys are easily one of the best teams on the game. I think Vitamin takes that team, man, for sure. I think he does, for sure.
All right, that's easy. Moving on to pick 9, and Sweets is smiling at this point. I got him taking the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know he's going to go for a young team, a quarterback he can build up like he did Drew Lock during the last cycle. And now you got Trevor Lawrence, you got DJ Talk to throw to. I mean, the team is young all over the board. All right, Xpert, what's your analogy?
Yeah, I mean, I could see him with the Jacksonville Jaguars. But there's 2 other teams that I think he's really looking at. And I think he's looking maybe to go home to his New England Patriots. But then I think the team in the NFC that he's really high on is those Arizona Cardinals. And I know the OG Chris Murray wants those Cardinals so bad. At least that's the smoke that he's putting out. Or maybe he wants the Bucks. Who knows with the OG as much as he flip-flops. But I really think Sweets right here goes Arizona Cardinals with Kyler Murray, with DeAndre Hopkins. You now got J.J. Watt, Chandler Parsons. I mean, you have a very, very good team here in Arizona, and I think that's where we're going to see Sweets 99 end up in Arizona.
Okay, not a bad pick. One more element for Jacksonville would be cornerback Henderson. Last year, Sweets was looking for a cornerback the first few years. Okay, Bino, would you rely on a cornerback like Henderson and take Jacksonville?
Nah, I think X he must be in my notes, man, because I had Sweets taking the Cardinals anyway. And that's just off the muscle from the playbook. The playbook of the Cardinals is extremely unique. You know what I'm saying? It's different from every other playbook. Meanwhile, the Jacksonville Jaguars, we don't know what their playbook looks like. Just like I don't know what Nick Sirianni's playbook looks like. You know what I mean? So it's a question mark, right? So I think Sweets will want more of a sure shot. So I got him taking the Cardinals on this one. But in the AFC, I would have to agree. He probably would go with the Jaguars to build up that team how he wants.
Not bad, but we all think the same in terms of the QB position. A young QB, so look out. All right, number 10, I got your boy Xpert. I got him taking the Cleveland Browns, especially with the Cowboys off the board at this point. We think so. All right, Xpert, do you think the Cleveland Browns are a good pick if the Cowboys are gone?
The Cleveland Browns are definitely a top tier team. They have everything that you possibly could want. The only problem I have is those uniforms are so ugly. I can't play in them uniforms for a whole cycle. If they found a way to get them better uniforms, man, I could play with them, but I can't do that. So right here, Xpert will be taking his talents to Indianapolis, and I'm going to go make Carson Wentz look like an MVP until I trade him.
Wow.
Okay,
Look, don't fall for the smoke, y'all. Don't fall for the smoke. Ain't no way X taking them. Ain't no way, man. There's too many good teams on the board.
I will say this. The Colts have an offensive line, and he used to have a good offensive line in Dallas. But Bino, go ahead and elaborate a little bit more.
Well, I think the Browns are a good pick here for X. I don't think he will take them, right? But I think there's too many other teams for X to just settle on the Colts. I think there's some holes there, and it's an old team in the Colts. But what I had for X was honestly the Ravens or the Browns or the Chargers. I got him picking them teams surely off of the offense because, X is a good user on the defensive side. I think he can make kind of anything work on the defensive side to be able to score enough points. But the question is, can you win a shootout against them? And I think those three teams I named are the teams that are best equipped at this point in the draft to be able to kind of suit X's play style. So that's what I had down. I don't see no Colts though, man. I gotta be honest. I don't see no Colts for you, X, man. We'll see.
We shall see. It's not a bad pick, but yeah, I think different too. At number 11, got another mysterious pick. It's your boy Dub. I got to go in the Chargers. He wants a young quarterback. I think the 49ers will be gone at this point, so I got him keeping it out west with the Chargers. What's your take, Bino?
Yeah, this is a scary pick because I don't think we've seen the real Dub yet. I think we've seen the Dub with Lamar. I think we've seen the Dub with a pretty stacked team. And even after his team stopped being so stacked in 21, he still was putting up numbers and still led the division, I believe. So I really don't know. It's a toss-up for me. I think the Chargers are a great team for him. I just don't know who he'll pick, honestly. Toss-up for me. I had to agree with you off the muscle, man.
Okay, how about you, Xpert?
Yeah, I think exactly what Bino says. This is a difficult pick because we just don't know that much about Dub, except that he's in the top 4% of all people, as far as money is concerned in the United States. He one of the wealthiest people in the world. And so we don't know what he's going to do. He could take whoever he wants at this point. I like the Chargers. This would be a good pick for Dub to take the Chargers. But you know what? It just depends on what mood he's in and what room he's in his mansion. He could flip-flop at any point. I could see him going Buffalo here. I could see him going the Jags if they're available. But yeah, Dub in San Diego would be a good pick, a good quarterback, good run game, good defense. We'll see what Dub does, but now he has to build his own team. He can't take over a team that was built for him. This is all up to him now, so we'll see what he does.
Yeah, I agree. One of the things you said, Buffalo, that wouldn't be a bad option at this point either if they're there. All right, coming at pick 12, it's your boy KP. This guy loves speed. At this point, I got him taking the Cardinals. At this point here, if that's still there. What's your take on this, Bino? KP taking the Cardinals. Isabella.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I would say that's a safe bet. If they drop that far, right? Because we all know some of KP's strength is having speed at receiver. He likes to run those crossing routes. He likes to kind of scheme his receivers open. I don't think, he's a good defensive user, but I don't think he needs good ratings in the defense to be successful. And, the Cardinals actually have a pretty stout defense. The only question really is the secondary at this point. So I think that's a pretty safe pick for him.
You know, and speed at middle linebacker with Simmons is not as bad.
Right.
And what you
Yeah,
think?
they moved in the middle linebacker.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, if Arizona was available here, I could see him going there. But this is where KP goes and gets a young quarterback, a team that he can build. Because if you know KP, he loves the draft, the offseason, all of those things is what he loves to do. And I have KP going to the Jacksonville Jaguars right here. He is going to take this young football team and build them into the powerhouse like he did his Detroit Lions several cycles ago. KP goes and gets Trevor Lawrence in the Jags.
Okay, good analogy. As we move on to pick 13, another no-brainer. If they're still here, it's your boy Undy, who's a Washington football team fan. You played this guy 2 cycles ago, Xpert. What's your take on undertaking the Washington football team again?
Yeah, I mean, if Washington is here, he definitely goes to Washington. That is his squad. There's no reason to go anywhere else. You got a young defense, probably one of the best front seven in the entire NFL. And then for you to have, a quarterback situation where you got a young guy kind of sitting behind Fitzpatrick. He's going to have to kind of make that decision quick. But then you have probably one of the top wide receiver cores in the entire NFL. So this is an easy pick for me. Under 2 rated, goes back home. He takes the Washington football team.
I agree. No reason to elaborate. But what's your take, Mino?
I mean, I would definitely have to agree with y'all if they're there. But if they are not, I had undertaken the Bills and pretty much any other team with a stout defense. I think Under's one of them users. He's going to use his IQ and rely on you to make mistakes and also put up points to win the game. So I think Washington's a prime fit for him. I just really don't see them falling past 10, man. That's such a good team.
Man,
Running the fall past 10, So, but I agree with y'all ultimately.
All right. Good take. As we move on to pick 14, it's your boy C-Rob, another homer. I got him taking the Carolina Panthers, led by Christian McCaffrey, the best overall back on the game. What's your take, Mino?
I think it's another no-brainer. I think C-Rob liked them Panthers too much. He's going to live and breathe and die with them Panthers, man. I had to agree with you off the muscle, but there's a lot of potential there too. They got a pretty young team. There's a lot of rebuilding necessary, but I do think he'll pick that team, man. That's definitely the team for him. I actually haven't been in a dynasty where I've seen C-Rob have a different team, so I got him picking the Panthers, man.
All right, with cornerbacks like Horn and Jackson, Xpert, you think that's enough to rely on, or does he need to make a switch and win more games?
It doesn't matter who's on this roster. As long as it's the Carolina Panthers, C-Rob's taking them here. The one time he didn't have the Panthers since I've been in Dynasty for 6 years now is that someone took his Panthers like literally right before he picked. And so he kind of got in that, I got to make a quick decision. And he got pissed off and he took the Bucks and he said, all right, if you're going to take my Panthers, I'm going to ruin your cycle. And so he finally got his Panthers back. This is an easy pick. It doesn't matter who's on his team, how good they are. If this was the Detroit Lions of Dynasty, he's still picking the Carolina Panthers. Whether he picks at 1 or he picks at 32, if that team's available, that's who he's taking, because that's who C-Rob is, and you got to love that about him. Carolina goes right here to C-Rob.
We all agree. Coming up next, it's your boy Randy Savage. I got him taking the Giants. How about you, Bino?
I really don't think he went to NFC smoke. And I'm not saying that to have him shy away or talk no smack, because Randy's my guy. But I honestly think there's a few good teams left on the board, and I think he's going to Tampa, man. I think Randy's going to see Tom Brady and all that skill, on the offense and defensive side in Tampa, and realize he inherited a gym, because it is a gym in Tampa, man. I got Randy taking Tampa opposed to the Giants, because there's a lot of work to be done in the Giants, man. Your main receiver is Kenny Galladay. I don't even know his rating, but I know it ain't over 84, 85. So I don't have him taking the Giants. I really have him in Tampa.
All right, well, they did take Tune in at draft from Florida. They do have a lot of draft capital. He likes a young team. Got young tight end Ingram. You got Barkley. He loves to run the ball, keep the defense honest. We shall see. The Giants are not a bad pick. Tampa not a bad pick. But I think the Giants are just a little bit younger. But we'll see, though. How about you, Xpert?
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking to Mr. Toxic himself, why wouldn't he take the Giants, knowing that there's people behind him that want that team really, really bad? I could see him going to New York here. I could see him in Tampa Bay. This is the other thing. I don't think Randy cares where he ends up. He just is going to go out there and play football no matter who he has. So I'm perfectly fine with us slotting him here for the New York Giants.
All right. Moving on to the next pick. It's your boy, OG Chris Murray. He been talking about the Bills. I think he's going to take the Bills. You know, you got Josh Allen at quarterback. You got Diggs. You know, they got a nice defense with Oliver on the D-line. All right. I think he take Bills. How about you, Bino? You see the Bills a lot last year.
I do see the Bills, and that's a good team, man. I think that's a good pick for him if they're available there. But if not, I really do see him taking the Titans. Honestly, when you got, what is it, AJ Brown, and you got Julio Jones, you know, you got Derrick Henry, who's gonna stop that offense? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think the Bills are a good pick for him, but knowing who's in that division, like tight with that speed, you know, might pose more of a challenge. But at the same time, the Bills have a really young team. They have a nice young defense. I think they gave Tre'Davious White like 93, 94 overall, and he's only 3 years in the league. So that's a good piece to work around, move up to 99. So I like the pick for him, but if he doesn't pick them, I like him taking the Titans.
All right. He does like middle linebackers too. They do have Edmonds. Is that enough to convince Chris Murray to take the Bills? Xpert.
Yeah, I don't think anything. You could go back and look at all the things that Chris Murray has tweeted, said in the chat. If it is involved a team, you can mark that team off. He's not taking that team because he's never going to give you any inclination of where he's going. So Buffalo is definitely out. The Cardinals are out. The Bucs are out. I don't have a problem with him going to Tennessee. That would be a difficult team right there. The thing with taking Buffalo is, do you want to see tight work twice a season? You know, you don't want to deal with that. All I know is this. He better not take an NFC North team, the Packers, the Vikings, or the Lions. That's all I know, because if he does, he has to see the bus twice a year. And I'm pretty sure the bus says he doesn't want Chris Murray in his division. So I could definitely see Tennessee as the pick right here.
Okay. Let's see what happens. They do have Caleb Fall at corner, you know, but they're not the youngest team. I tell you that. They're not the youngest team, but they're very talented out the gate. Okay, moving on to pick 17. It's your boy Bruce, another mysterious pick, a guy who doesn't pick with his heart. But with this team, he does have Mike Evans. He has Leonard Fournette running the ball. Okay, Bino, does Bruce pick another team, or do you agree with the Bucs?
I don't agree with the Bucs. If they're there, I think he might pick them, but I think he's looking for more of a young team, whereas in the Bucs, you got kind of an old superstar team where you have 10 seasons to get everybody up to date. I think he goes with the Giants. I think he want to see Bino twice a year. I think he want to see Vitamin twice a year. I think he want that smoke. You know, and I had the privilege to play a quick Madden22 preseason game with him, and he's going to make noise, man. I think he goes with the Giants here. But if not the Giants, I think he takes best team available, and that would be the Bucs in this case. Okay,
I agree about the Giants, but the question is, do the Giants fall this far? If the Giants are there when Bruce picked, I would have to agree. How about you, Xpert?
Yeah, definitely. If the Giants are even available, he goes to New York. It's not even, there's no doubt there. But I agree with Bino. He's going to take best available team here at this pick. He didn't have the high stakes season he wanted. You know, he normally picks in the top 10, top 12. So I definitely could see him going to the Bucs if they're available. But at this point, Bruce is just going to kind of sit back and wait and see where everybody else picks. But if the Giants are there, expect to see Bruce in that blue.
All right. Good take. Moving on to pick 18. Another mysterious pick. You got Freight Train. I got him taking the Titans. There's been a lot of smoke about him taking the Titans, you know, but who knows? This guy, he does run the ball, plays, you know, defense. I'm not too sure about that. How about you, Xpert? Is this the team to take when you think an owner like this is going to need all the defensive help he can get?
Yeah, I think Freight here is more about the content side of it than he is about, you know, winning championships and things like that. I know he's a very competitive person. You know, love everything about Freight, but I actually think he goes back to Green Bay and takes the Packers.
Interesting. How about you, Bino?
Yeah, it's funny. I'm telling y'all, X is in my notes because I had Freight taking the Packers as well. I don't, I know he sees the bus in other leagues and other, play games that they play. But I don't think that shies him away from going back to the Packers, that or the Broncos. But if he does land the Titans, I think he has the IQ on Madden and the skills necessary to make them a pretty good team, man. So y'all watch out. But ultimately, I would have to agree. But if they're not there, I got him taking the Packers.
Okay, not a bad take. This guy can go anywhere. Like you say, he has a good IQ for the game. But, the Packers not a bad team to take if they're still here. Packers, a lot of people may overlook them because of Aaron Rodgers' age. Devontae Adams, 28. So he about to be on the wrong side of 30 after 3 cycles or 3 seasons. So we'll see how long the Packers stay on the board. At pick 19, we got your boy Marley. He's another homer. He been talking about he not taking the Jets, overlooking Zach Wilson's talent. This is a real talented team. You got Mims at receiver, Quinn Williams on the D-line. This is still one of the best young teams in the game. Would you agree, Bino? You see the Jets, twice a year when you had the Patriots.
Yeah, I'll have to agree. And I ain't talked to my man Marley about it, but I think you can pencil this one in, man. I mean, he's one of those guys who predicates his team talent on building them up. And I think right now he got a better plateau than he had last year with 21. And this is his team. So I got him taking the Jets too. And there's a lot to like in New York right now for them Jets, besides your division mates. But I think he seemed tight last year, so ain't nothing to be afraid of for him. So I got him taking the Jets on this one as well.
Okay, I would agree. I mean, Marcus May is still a good player in the game, but when you play tight with twice a year, you're going to need to get rid of them guys and bring in some hard-hitting safeties with a lot of hit power. So what's your take on him taking the Jets, Xpert?
Yeah, this is another smoke screen. There's no way Marley don't take his Jets here. He's going to New York. He can talk all he wants about Zach Wilson. He's in the background saying, man, we finally got us a good quarterback. He got a rocket for an arm. we got a good team. We got a chance to make some noise this year. He's not afraid of tight work. He's been there. He's won some. He's lost some. Marley definitely goes here, goes back home. He takes his Jets. He would be crazy not to pick them.
I would agree. Moving on to the next pick, you got your boy JB. He says he's a Broncos fan, even though he represents Houston. I got him taking the Denver Broncos. Not bad when you got Von Miller and Bradley Chubb with Surtain, the young cornerback out of Alabama, on the back end of the defense, along with Simmons. This is actually one of the best young teams, too. Do you see JB passing up the Broncos here, Abino? I
do, actually. I see JB either looking at them Texans again or picking the Seahawks. That's just based on the muscle, right? I keep saying on the muscle. I'm just looking at last year when I say that, by the way. Last season in 21, JB had his main tight end, or his main receiver, should I say, Stecker. If he picks a team that has a stacked wide receiver room like the Seahawks, right, it would be better for him in the long run. Whereas if he picked the Broncos, who we really afraid of at receiver, right? Who we really afraid of on the offense, So I think he picks either his home team and the Texans, or he picks the Seahawks in this case.
Okay, Xpert. Is Drew Lock and Noah Fant, are they good enough to convince JB to go to Denver?
Yeah, I don't think he goes to Houston. I don't think he goes to Seattle. He's going to take his Denver Broncos. They got a young, fast wide receiver. You got a very good tight end, 2 good tight ends. You got a decent quarterback. You got probably one of the top young cornerbacks in the league now, Patrick Surtain. I mean, this is set up for JB to go home, take the Denver Broncos, and kind of battle in that division. Once again, he's had the Broncos before. He's a huge Bronco fan, so I think JB goes home here.
All right, good take. All right, next up, we got your boy SJ. He's been around for a minute. Last 2 cycles, he ran the ball with Leonard Fournette and he threw the ball to Tyreek Hill. I got him taking the Oakland Raiders, which is a combination of running the ball hard with Jacob, and you got Ruggs to throw deep to. All right, Xpert, you know SJ pretty well. Does he go with another team, or is the Raiders a good take?
I would love SJ to take the Raiders here just to piss off HBO. Like, there would be nothing better than for SJ to call into the show and be like, look, I don't know who's on the roster. I really don't care. it doesn't make any difference. But there's no way I'm letting these Raiders fall to HBO. And if SJ does that, man, dude, he is a legend for the rest of eternity in the DML. I would love to see SJ just take the Raiders just to piss off HBO. But, you know, I think with SJ, he's going to look for a fast wide receiver. He's going to look for that rushing attack because he's going to run inside zone 26 times, and then he's just going to drop back and throw the ball up and pray that he gets an animation to get a catch. And that's SJ's MO, and it works. And you know it's coming, and there's absolutely nothing you could do to stop it. You literally go into the game telling your defensive lineman, stop the inside zone. And he knows how to run it out of every formation that it's possible. And he's diabolical with it. And I wish if he just learned how to be that way with all the other runs, he would be a dangerous user here in the DML. And I don't know, the Raiders have a really good running back, but they have probably one of the fastest wide receivers in the NFL outside of Tyreek Hill. And so this is a good pick. I could see him definitely going to Las Vegas.
Okay. One other thing I like about the Raiders is the safety tandem. They got Abram, they got Morig. You know, they got a lot of young, fast linebackers, but they all need awareness and play recognition. Is this team good enough to get SJ over the hump, Bino?
I actually agree with everything X said. I think this is a steal at 21, honestly. I mean, their offense is so nice. You got the speed and Ruggs. And I'm not even going to talk about Darren Waller because I had some bad preseason 22 experience against Darren Waller. But that man is literally unguardable. I think this is the perfect pick for SJ. Personal recommendation, SJ, go ahead and grab them Raiders, man. I definitely got them going there.
I would. Your only best backup plan would probably be the Rams because, you know, they have a better defense. But if you want to play your style of ball, take the Raiders. Moving on to the next pick, it's pick 22. You got your boy Squire. I got him taking the Rams. I think the Rams will probably be the best team at this point. Is that a good direction for Squire to go into, Bino?
I don't think so. I think we got another homer in our hands, y'all. I think Squire's going to them Bengals, man. He's a redhead. You know, he got his Bengals jerseys. You know, he's a real Bengals fan. And I know it's hard out there in Cleveland, you know, in Ohio. But he's a Bengals fan. I got him going to the Bengals, man, for sure.
All right. The Bengals are not a bad pick. They do have Bates at safety. It's one of the top premier safeties in the league. You got Chase they just drafted. Man, this is a team that's very sneaky with the right user. What's your take on him, you know, picking at pick 22, Xpert?
Yeah, and we talk about looking at each other's notes. Bino over here cheating off of my sheet because I think Squire, he takes his Cincinnati Bengals. You got Chase, you got Joe Burrow. Those two guys know each other very well. You're gonna have to upgrade the offensive line, but you got T. Higgins. I mean, this is a good team. Joe Mixon. I mean, you can't go wrong here. And if you're a Bengals fan, you got to be excited about that for Madden. And so I think Squire goes home. He takes the Cincinnati Bengals. As much as Taz wishes he would not take them so they would fall to Taz, Squire gets his Bengals for the next cycle.
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad pick. Joe Burrow, not a bad quarterback. It wouldn't be a bad pick, but I think this is where part of the draft where people start lining up saying who I want to play. You know, matchups. So we'll see. You know, because Baltimore have a good user, Cleveland will. Squire's not scared of no one, but this is where you sometimes look for matchups that you like to go against in favor of you. So pick 23, we got your boy Maurizi. I think he can go Saints, just like the last draft. I think he wants to see Nuke twice a year. We shall see. You got LaShawn Lattimore. You got Marquise Williams. I mean, a nice secondary. He loves defense. He's a Cameron Jordan fan. All right, Xpert. You think he's trying to get 2 games against Nuke?
Oh year? Yeah, this is an easy pick. He's going to go where he has an opportunity to see nasty Nuke twice a year. He's going to take the Saints. If he doesn't take the Saints, look at him maybe taking one of those NFC North teams. But I definitely think he goes to New Orleans. He just got to figure out the quarterback position because I promise you, Jameis Winston is not the answer, and neither is Taysom Hill.
All right, I would agree. I saw one other thing too. Michael Thomas has 87 speed, still a legitimate receiver. But is that good enough for Maurice to be competitive, Bino?
Absolutely. If y'all played the new Madden22, you will quickly see speed is not as much of a factor as it was in 21. So if you got a Michael Thomas with a high rating and nice route running, I think he takes that on the offense, but I think he goes to the Saints, not only for the competitive or the teams inside of that division like New, but because of the defense, right? He's a defense-heavy user, and I think he can mold that defense to be a powerhouse, especially with Marshawn Lattimore back there. So I think this is a safe bet picking the Saints. You can lock me in on this one.
I would agree. You know, moving on to the next pick, you got your boy Skill Trade, and I really think the Colts gonna fall to pick 24. Something just tells me that. And I think when he sees Jonathan Taylor at running back, a nice O-line, he finally gets the running back he's been waiting for. Question is, can he utilize him well enough to come up with more wins? Xpert?
Yeah, I don't think the Colts fall here. I think this is where we see him go back to Pittsburgh. And maybe, I just think if you're Skill, do you start looking at maybe who's been picked before you and try and find the easiest route? This is where there are going to be several users praying he doesn't pick their division because of his scheduling. You're hoping that your division is locked up by the time this pick happens, but I just got this feeling he's going back to Pittsburgh.
All right, and this guy's defensive minded, but by this time, I think all the elite defenses are gone. Is this a good direction for Skill Trade to go in, Bino?
I think so. I think he has to realize what he's inheriting, though, which is a stout offensive line, one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
And a pretty powerful offense. The only question is Carson Wentz. And I know he had Carson Wentz, I believe, in Pittsburgh in 21, so that might even attract him more to maybe get a higher improved Carson Wentz than we saw in 21. But I think it's a pretty safe bet, man. I like what you got here in the Colts for Skill.
Okay, we'll see. I like DeForest Buckner too on the D line. That D line is better than people think. They got Leonard at linebacker, so we'll see. But you got to rebuild the secondary fast. Xavier Rhodes is top corner over there, and he's on the wrong side of 30. All right, moving to pick 25. It's your boy Schema, and if they fall, I can't resist. Even though Flair said he don't want to play bus, I can't resist. I might have to go Green Bay Packers here. Do you think the Packers will be here at pick 25 for me, Bino?
Absolutely not. I don't think they fall past 20, man. I mean, you got Jair Alexander. Right. Yeah, I was saying you got Jair Alexander, which is appealing enough for any user to look at the Packers, right? Oh, yeah. The question is, again, the interdivision competition in the bus. If the bus picks the Bears first overall, like I said, that changes everything. But if they fall to you, Scheme, you're inheriting another pretty good team. The only question would be Aaron Rodgers. What you gonna do with him in the next couple of years? He might retire automatically, by default, or he might ask for that extension. So if they fall to you, it's definitely a gem. It's a really good team. This is one of the steals of the draft, and I guess that happens when a lot of homers like me pick them early whack teams, and in the first 5 picks. So it's a steal. I like them for you. You can lock me in on this one.
All right, Xpert. It's the same guy he just got through talking about, Aaron Rodgers, the team that's really the reason I got to the dynasty. Should I take the pack here if they're here? Or
yeah, definitely. If the Packers are there, you got to take them because you got Jordan Love sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, so it's all right if A-Rod decides to hang it up and call it quits. Right. But Bino spoke the most truth in this entire show when he talked about that whack team in Philadelphia. I mean, you couldn't have said anything more truthful than what you just said right there. I mean, that is exactly what we like to hear. But yeah, if the Packers are there, you'd be crazy not to take them. I think Freight takes them. So maybe we see another NFC North team go off the board. Maybe Minnesota here, because I think Schemer, as far as the bus thing, there's going to be guys that don't pick an NFC North team because the bus is there. But I don't think Schemer's one of those guys. I would love to see Schemer and Flair in the same division. And if we could make that possible, that would be amazing. But again, I don't know if that's possible. But I can see if Packers are here, I definitely could see you going there.
I'm telling you now, if all 3 of these teams are available, we talking about the Packers, Minnesota, and Detroit, I'm giving Flair a chance to come play with me. Mark it down. I'm not going nowhere else. But like we said, There are some sneaky teams that can go early, which is Green Bay, Minnesota, and Detroit got picks. So let's see what happens. Moving on to the next pick, another team I like, but I'm not gonna touch him. I might think about it, but this Nasty Nuke. He's another homer. Is there anywhere else Nuke is gonna go at this point besides Atlanta? ATL, Bino.
Absolutely not. He's picking the Falcons.
I agree.
I could just want one of the commissions just put out early in the year. There's only 31 teams available. I think it was you. He said there's only 31 teams available. Yeah,
That's
man.
right.
He's definitely going to the Falcons, man.
Yeah, don't embarrass yourself and pick the Falcons and get booted before the draft show is over with. And just, don't be that dude. Don't be that guy, because that's not a good look for you. But yeah, Nasty Nuke goes home to Atlanta. There's no way he goes anywhere else.
Why not? Even at this point, if you're not a Falcon fan, you got Kyle Pitts, Deion Jones, Grady on the D-line, a young corner in AJ Terrell, and really it's not that bad.
Okay, I will say this. I just want to be 100% clear. Dynasty, listen to me. If you take the Atlanta Falcons before Nasty Nuke picks them, I'm going to pause the draft show and boot you from the Dynasty myself. And you will know the chat will disappear from GroupMe, and not because we're moving to Discord. I'm just letting you know that. Don't fall victim to Kyle Pitts and that fast tight end with Calvin Ridley over there. Don't fall for it. Don't let the smoke bother you when you look at this team and think, man, this team's still available. Yeah, it's still available for a specific reason. Just go ahead and flip them over with, it doesn't matter. Because if you send the Atlanta Falcons into the OG Chris Murray as your pick to let us know that's who you picking, he's going to send you a message back and be like, nah, player, try again. That team's not available. So it doesn't make any difference. Nuke gets the Falcons. We let the commish go where he needs to go because of everything that Nasty Nuke does for this league behind the scenes. I think it gets lost sometimes in running a league. You see some elite leagues have lost their way in Madden and have folded and crumbled, and leagues that we saw have done some amazing things not go forward to the next Madden. And we have a guy, Nasty Nuke, that is doing everything possible to make sure the DML is here to stay for cycle 7, 8, 10, 20. We're here for the long haul, and because of that, the guy deserves to have his Atlanta Falcons.
Perfectly said. Yes, sir. The Falcons belong to Nuke. Moving on to the next, we got pick 27. It's your boy, the big homie, who likes to run the ball and play good defense. He's another guy ain't scared of nobody in the league. Is this a good pick, Bino, for big homie to take the Vikings at this point?
Absolutely. This is a really, really good team, actually. I think they're just slept on because they don't really have any notable players or Pro Bowlers, but they really got a good team. If the big homie get them, I'm just going to hope and pray my dog is performing, especially in the NFC North, but we're going to see how that shapes out. But I like this. I like the Vikings for him. I honestly like him better with H-Bo, but if he picked the Vikings, that's a steal, man. It's a good team. I like it.
All right. You do have Dalvin Cook. They got the Brookish out of Virginia Tech on the O-line. And they got Kellen Mond, a young quarterback. Is that enough for big homie to go to Minnesota Xpert?
Oh, man. I mean, Bino, you got to come up with original thoughts. Stop taking my stuff, man, because I got nothing to say. But you talk about fits big homie style. A quarterback that doesn't have to win or lose you the game. He just has to be serviceable. You got a guy in Justin Jefferson on the outside that can go catch the ball. You have one of the best running backs in the game in Dalvin Cook. Then on top of that, now you have a young quarterback sitting behind your veteran that you can start building and molding. Not that the big homie is big about, creating an atmosphere where he's building a team. He may end up trading Kellen Mond at some point. But this team has everything that you need right now to start the cycle. He already has been in the division with the Bucs, so he knows what he's dealing with. It's a new game. It's going to take time to adjust. I like the Vikings here, and if they're available, the big homie be crazy not to take the Minnesota Vikings right here.
All right. I agree. Okay, we all agree on that. Minnesota Vikings will be a good take with Dalvin Cook for the long run. Moving on to the next, we got your boy HBO. Another guy who can go any direction at this point. He doesn't care who he plays. It's your boy HBO, Bino. Does he take the Patriots at this point?
I think he takes the Patriots. Honestly, I think your last couple picks here are pretty accurate, only because it is. I think it's an easy schedule in that AFC East division, and I don't think he realizes if he grabs the Patriots how good of a team he's inheriting. Right? The bad parts about the Patriots are the wide receiver position and the linebacker position, which is a question mark. But at the linebacker position, you got young, fast linebackers in Josh Uche, and I forget his name, Malua. Right?
All right.
They looking pretty good, man. I like this team for him. This is one of the kind of middle tier teams that are actually falling. The problem is your interdivision mates, right? That's what you're gonna have to focus on. So I like the Patriots for HBO. I don't think they'll fall that far, to be honest. But I like this team.
Okay. HBO known for scoring, but not stopping too many teams. You got Gilmore and J.C. Jackson. Is this defense strong enough to make HBO look like a strong defensive-minded coach, Xpert?
Yeah, I think, to take the Patriots here, has enough serviceable items there on the defense. You're talking about J.C. Jackson. It's what does he do? Does he run Cam Newton like he had Lamar Jackson? Does he put the young guy Mac Jones in? I mean, there's just so many variables here. I think at this point here, HBO is just going to take whatever team he feels fits his style the best. If HBO has a style, I don't even know. I like the Patriots here. The one thing is he may run away from the competition that's there in that AFC East. That's some stout guys you got to play. Twice a year. So we'll see what HBO does, but he's going to have a choice. He can either go see the bus with those Lions or he can go see tight work with the Patriots.
All right. Good take. At pick 29, it's your boy Flair. I got Flair taking Detroit to accumulate picks and to play me. Now, he say he don't want to play bus, but hey, you can't have your cake and eat it too. I got him taking Detroit. Bino, should Flair go at Detroit at this point?
I think so. Only because I think we sleep on how good Flair is at actually building a team, right? If you look at that Rams team, I believe he had last Madden, towards the end of it, it was a pretty solid team, and if he has those couple of first round picks, early on, it might suit Flair and how he actually built his team. Play style, that's a whole different question. I know my man Flair has it in him to play very, very well, so we'll see. But being in that division, if he picks the Lions, it's going to be hard to get out the regular season. So I like this pick for him. I think it fits him. The only question is that interdivision competition.
Right. Got some nice pieces to start with. Right tackle, I think Sowell that they drafted. I think he's pretty good. Akakwi out of Ohio State. And then you got, I think Goff. Goff is only 26. He might be a quarterback for a long period of time. Without any penalties, do you think Flair can take Detroit to the next level, get to the playoffs, Xpert?
And Flair can't take any team to the next level in the DML. So let's go ahead and put that. Let's just stop trying to think. Listen, Flair got one signature win in this league, and it's versus Ray Ray. And he's going to hang his hat on that signature win for the rest of his time that we know him. Here's the thing. For everything that is holy, I need Flair to take the Detroit Lions so we get Flair schemer twice a year for an entire cycle. That's the only thing that matters to me. I'm perfectly fine with him going Detroit here. Would be a good pick.
All right. At pick 30, if they're still there, got your boy Tazzarelli taking the Bengals. Will the Bengals be on the board at this point, Bino? Or Taz gonna have to go another way?
I don't think they're gonna be on the board. I think Squire's definitely grabbing them. Right? I bet my rip money on that. But I think the Titans actually fall to Taz. I'm sorry, not the Titans. The Texans. The Texans. I stand corrected.
Okay.
I think the people in that division is what's going to attract Taz to that team. I think when you get to the bottom 3, bottom 4 teams, people more or less want to see who's in each division. And I think this same situation is applicable for Taz. So I like him with the Texans. But if the Bengals fall, we all know that Taz is grabbing.
All right. Yeah, we know that much. Would Taz be lucky enough, Xpert?
No, the Bengals aren't here because Squire takes the Bengals. But I definitely could see him in Houston. If the Bengals are there, yes, he's going to take the Bengals. But I really feel like if the Texans are here, this is a no-brainer pick. You got a good young quarterback still in Deshaun Watson. You just have to build at that point. And if you look at that division, it doesn't really have a super team in that division versus what he did have when he was with the Bengals, dealing with some of those guys that he had to play against. So this would be a good pick if he goes to Houston here. But definitely if the Bengals are there, he's going Cincinnati. But I got him going to Houston.
Not a bad pick, yeah. They're pretty good. They got Tunsil at left tackle and Reed at free safety. So, I mean, you'll have something to try to win at least 6 games, I guess. So we'll see. Now, this next pick we're going to talk about is pick 31. We got Live to Hustle. Now, I don't think they should fall down this far. But again, age matters in the DML when you play for 10 seasons. You got Bobby Wagner, he's old. You got Russell Wilson, he's old. At pick 31, will he take the Seahawks, Bino?
Nah, I mean, if they're there, obviously he has no choice. But if they're not, I see, honestly, the Colts falling more than we think. And I don't see him being a user who knows how to use them. And that's still a question mark because he came in the Dynasty midway, I believe, in the last Madden. But the Colts don't have much draft capital. They have a question mark, kind of at quarterback. And if you don't know how to use that Frank Reich pseudo Eagles playbook, you're not going to be as successful as you hope. So I don't see the Seahawks falling. If they are there, he has to pick them. They are the better team. They do have definitive weapons. But I really predict that the Colts or the Jets, if not picked up by Marley, will land with the hustle.
Okay. How about you, Xpert?
Yeah, and see, I had either the Steelers falling this far, or I had somehow if Taz doesn't take the Texans, that he gets the Texans here. The Seahawks definitely are not available here. They are going way higher than this. There's no way someone passes up DK Metcalf and doesn't play with DK Metcalf. But if the Seahawks are there, you would be absolutely nuts to not take the Seahawks here with that roster. And if they fall this far, he should be praising Jesus that this team is even available at 31, because we got some knuckleheads that didn't take a team that they should have took. But I got him taking the Texans if Taz doesn't, or maybe the Patriots.
It's possible that the Patriots or the Texans fall down this far. I mean, we've seen some picks last year. Seahawks was picked 25, Rams 29. So, I mean, there's a lot of homers. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. At pick 32, if they get past Taz, we got your boy, Coach Suda, taking the last pick of the draft, and he has to settle for the Houston Texans. Will the Texans be pick 32, or will it be someone else being up?
I like the Texans for pick 32 only if JB don't take them. Really, I know Deshaun Watson is very attractive, especially to users who like to scramble a little bit. So I really, really don't see them there. But on the contrary, on paper they don't really have much to offer outside of Deshaun Watson. Right? Who's their main receiver? Nobody knows. So you know what I mean? Like I can see them falling. I think Coach Suda's actually going to build whatever team he grabs. He's going to build them up to be middle tier. Is my prediction, but I don't see the Texans falling, to be honest.
Okay, how about you, Xpert?
Yeah, I don't see the Texans falling here either. I actually think Flair runs away from Schemer again, and the Detroit Lions fall right here, and Coach ends up with the Detroit Lions, which will be the worst thing in the world, because that will mean another cycle where we don't see Flair versus Schemer twice a season.
It is possible. If the Colts and Texans are on the board, I might snatch one of them and give Flair another chance to come in to my division. We'll see. It just depends on how the first half of the draft goes. All right, the trivia question. On my mock draft, what was the most ridiculous prediction I made, Bino?
Oh wow. Most ridiculous prediction?
Like you just said, not even close to coming to that particular pick. It's not even a chance of that happening.
Okay, I'll probably have to go with Xpert. I really don't think he'll take the Browns. I know they're a good team. But if Dallas does fall, obviously he's taking them. But there are other teams I think that fits X's play style. I think X is, yeah, he would get Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry and the good tight ends and the good offense. But I think a different team kind of fits him from a play style perspective, a playbook perspective, should I say. And there's other teams on the board at 10 that he can do just that. So I don't think 10 fits Xpert, to be honest.
All right. How about you, Xpert?
I think the most ridiculous one is Styles going with the Steelers there at pick 3. I mean, listen, I know he's a Steelers fan, but even Styles knows that is a dead end there in Pittsburgh.
I don't know, man. They got Devin Bush, right? They got Devin Bush, Joe Hayden. They got some attractive pieces, I guess.
Okay.
I'm gonna say most ridiculous pick is that I made is Seattle going down to 31. From what I've heard lately and what's been going on in these games, I really don't see Seattle falling that far now. But if they get past Jacob, there's a strong possibility of the Seahawks falling. Will they fall that far? Probably to the late 20s. But they're definitely not going 31 right now. I just don't see it. And that's my take.
Can I add a caveat?
Sure.
So I would have to say the same thing about 22. I don't think the Rams falling past 15. That's a good team. And if y'all haven't played Matt Stafford, go play with Matt Stafford. That man is making every throw. I don't think the Rams fall past 15 for real.
All right. Anything, fellas, before we wrap up the show?
Hey, man, just make sure you're tuned into the DML Network. This Saturday at 4:15 Eastern, I will be hosting the best draft show in all of YouTube for any franchise, as we have guys call in and make their pick live on the show. Anything can happen. I promise you, anything can happen. Shout out to Noop and everything he's done to get this draft ready to go. Cannot wait. And we'll see how accurate we were with these picks.
All right. Anything else, Bino?
That's it, man. That's done close it out, man. Y'all boys get ready, man. Get in the lab. And make sure y'all tune in, DML Network. Y'all holla at us.
Peace, fellas. We out.